Detective Daniel Griffin starts most shifts parked behind the North District station, watching the patrol cars line up along the curb. It is a world of flat concrete, narrow windows, and the smell of stale coffee. His investigative philosophy is built on the tangible. He believes that every threat in Tampa can be assigned a name, an address, and a report number. For years, the daily routine of domestic calls, robberies, and drug arrests reinforced this perspective. These are problems with footprints and witnesses, real things you can put into a report and send upstairs. This bureaucratic structure acts as a psychological shield. It creates a sense of order that masks the impossible nature of the city sitting right next to the water. That order fails when evidence appears that contradicts the basic laws of biology and physics. Tampa is a convergence point for 3 classifications of supernatural horror. Each node represents a different anomaly Griffin encountered. Surviving them requires a psychological protocol, overriding standard police training when the environment itself becomes the enemy. Categorizing these horrors reveals the fragility of human logic. It shows exactly how quickly a structured world can dissolve when faced with a threat that doesn't fit into a report. The first tier emerged at the Davis Island seawall. What began as a report of a drowning man escalated when Griffin found a single running shoe and long drag marks leading toward a dockladder. A gray, slick hand with narrow knuckles gripped the metal rail. It was followed by a head with a vertical mouth and rows of needle-like teeth, a creature that watched the officers from the water. Griffin's partner responded with standard force, firing a single shot that sent the entity back into the channel. It was a physical reaction to a physical predatory presence. This tier is uncharted biology. It represents a physical horror that obeys the rules of violence and interacts directly with the nitral ecosystem of the bay. The second tier is a social anomaly. While searching for a missing 8-year-old girl, Griffin followed a trail to Club O Negative, a nightlife spot where the bouncers don't check IDs. The club operates on its own set of social rules. Patrons wear sunglasses in the low red light. Conversations never rise above a whisper, and the staff handles glassware with black gloves. The owner, George Vallon, revealed the girl's location not out of fear, but to settle an occult debt owed to Griffin's grandfather. It was a transaction between hierarchies, not a police interrogation. This is the Supernatural Syndicate. These are ancient entities that govern the city through favors and status, existing in a layer of society where standard police authority has no weight. The final tier is the most severe, a complete breakdown of local reality inside an abandoned office building near the Hillsborough River. Seconds after entering, Griffin turned to find the entrance had vanished. A solid wall of water-stained drywall stood where the front door should have been, trapping him in a terrifying spatial loop. The building was filled with grotesque contradictions. Chimerical animals roamed the halls, and a conference room held 6 people in business attire, whose necks ended in blackened, flat stumps. At the top of the stairs, the roof was missing entirely. Above the jagged walls stretched an alien cosmic sky, where enormous, pulsing shapes with long tendrils drifted across the stars. This is a reality tear. It is a nexus point where the laws of nature are overridden by external cosmic forces that do not belong in this world. As Griffin tried to escape, the building turned hostile. Doors slammed, the floors vibrated, and the sound of dozens of people laughing echoed through the hallways. In this environment, the instinct to run only leads deeper into the loop. Fight or flight responses fail when the very floor beneath you is part of the anomaly. Griffin utilized a rule passed down by his grandfather, a veteran officer who had clearly seen the same shadows. He stopped, closed his eyes, and simply focused on his breathing. This act of internal discipline caused the building to reset. The laughter and the cosmic sky vanished, leaving him back in the quiet original lobby with the cruiser's headlights shining through the doors. When facing a reality tear, where physics no longer function, absolute psychological stillness is the only way to re-establish a connection with the real world. The building was bulldozed a few weeks later. Today, it is just a flat dirt lot surrounded by a temporary fence, a mundane sight in a growing city. Other detectives still view the city through the lens of paperwork and patrol logs, unaware that their structured world has holes in it. But the three tiers of terror remain. The creature in the bay and the syndicate in the clubs are still there, even if the building by the river is gone. We cannot map or defeat these anomalies. We can only survive them by maintaining control.